Tonight,
there's a killer out there.
the chilling jail yard confession.
He said, I killed her, the Butterworth girl.
The evidence
A convicted sex murderer.
Filthy animal.
that convinced a coroner.
You think this man should be free on the streets?
No, he shouldn't.
The cop,
He took a life. He should be in jail for that.
We are now going to fix it.
the grieving partner,
She was your life.
It still hurts after 47 years.
the brothers,
Lies coming out of his mouth. Whenever he spoke, it was all lies. It's just a damn maggot of a fella.
all sure who killed Lucille.
Jeffrey Hunt had confessed.
Twice. He confessed twice.
So why is he free as a bird?
Shouldn't be out on the street.
I'm going to knock on his door.
I still can't believe that he's free now.
This man is the killer.
What a terrible, terrible thing.
Hello, I'm Melissa Doyle and welcome to Sunday Night. We begin tonight with a stunning new development in a cold case murder. Lucille Butterworth was on her way to see her fiancé when she disappeared from a bus stop and was never seen again. Police have admitted the investigation at the time was hopelessly bungled. Vital leads were ignored. Now, after a fresh investigation, a coroner has singled out one man as the killer, and we've obtained a direct account that he confessed to the crime. So why is he not in prison? Here's Mike Willesee.
It's just something you didn't really think anything of, because the honest truth is people dribble a lot of shit in jail. Sorry, but I didn't want to say that on the TV, but that's the exact truth. A lot of people dribble shit in the prison, so you don't take any notice of anything.
These days, Philip Tho leads a quiet life in a small town in a remote corner of Tasmania. But in 1977, while he was serving time in Risdon Prison for stealing and driving offences, Philip struck up a friendship with another inmate.
Well, he stood out very clearly because he is a blonde-headed albino. I couldn't believe what he came out with. He said, "This is what I done to the Butterworth girl." He said, "I killed her." Told me plenty of times he'd got away with it, quite often. Well, I was scared that if I told somebody that I could be next.
He's on the move.
We can now reveal the confession came from this man, Jeffrey Charles Hunt.
You just wonder, though, what would drive a man to do that?
Lust. Filthy animal. And as a result, I've lost my sister.
He's just a damn maggot of a fella.
Hunt is a 66-year-old pensioner with a very dark past. You think this man should be free on the streets?
No, he shouldn't. He should be in jail.
Jeffrey Hunt is already a convicted sex murderer. He's done a lot of time in jail for that. And now a coroner has named him as the man who murdered Lucille Butterworth 47 years ago. For a coroner to directly name a person as a killer is very unusual. And I'm going to give Jeffrey Hunt the opportunity to speak for himself. The disappearance of this beautiful young woman has haunted her fiancé, John Fitzgerald, for almost half a century.
I was so lucky to have her in my life. Sorry, Mike, I'm getting a bit upset.
It's totally understandable.
Yeah, it still hurts after 47 years. Really hurts.
The 20-year-old went missing from a bus stop in southern Tasmania on August 25, 1969. She was on her way to meet John in New Norfolk.
Well, this is where the trail of Lucille's known movements ends. What happened from here on, no one knows.
Now, at last, somebody does know. And after a long-awaited inquest, the coroner has not held back with his findings. Even the officer in charge of the modern police investigation is stunned. Were you surprised at the strength of the coroner's finding?
I was, yeah. I thought it was... it's a courageous decision.
Most unusual.
It's the only one I've known of that nature.
Very, very important. Something we haven't spoken about yet, but...
Last week, in a rare and extraordinary move, Coroner Simon Cooper stridently and explicitly declared that Jeffrey Charles Hunt murdered Lucille Butterworth. How did you feel when the coroner said, "This man is the killer"?
Euphoric, elated.
He went further and reported that Hunt had stopped his car, strangled Miss Butterworth and disposed of her body on the southern bank of the Derwent River. In prison, Philip Tho says Hunt revealed more gruesome details, saying he'd put Lucille in a shallow grave on the edge of the water and punctured her stomach with a pitchfork.
He said, oh, that's because when you're in the water, unless you do that, he said, after so many days, they'll lift and come up to the top of the water.
Not easy to listen to that sort of thing. But all I hope is she didn't suffer. It'd break my heart if I knew she'd suffered.
She was your life.
She was.
He denied whatsoever having anything to do with the disappearance of that girl. And that's how he referred to Lucille Butterworth, that girl.
Did he deny to you that he knew Lucille Butterworth and John Fitzgerald?
Initially, yes.
Which the coroner found untruthful.
Absolutely, absolutely.
The coroner rejected most of Hunt's evidence at the inquest as lies.
Lies coming out of his mouth. Whenever he spoke, it was all lies.
We were hoping that in some way, shape or form, closure can be given to the Butterworth family in relation to Lucille.
The coroner praised you and your team very highly for the work that you've done.
Really appreciative of that, yeah.
Sadly, in contrast to a lot of the police work back in 1969.
Absolutely. When you put the cold, hard light of day on that investigation in 1969, you find it at fault.
Last year, Sunday Night revealed a litany of police failures and a lack of direction that meant crucial early leads were missed. It began when Lucille's father reported his daughter missing.
The detective superintendent looked at him and said, "Flighty young girl, she'll be back by Friday." What? An investigator, a detective superintendent, telling a father that your daughter's a flighty young girl? How do you know? How do you know anything about it? Jim Butterworth says he saw his father walked out of that police station a shell of a man. So, that shouldn't happen to anybody.
And she never came back.
No.
7 years after Lucille vanished, Jeffrey Hunt was arrested for the brutal sex murder of car sales assistant Susan Knight. While in custody at this police station, Hunt confessed twice to police that he killed Lucille, telling them something came over him. He strangled her and she died.
Oh, something came over me. What? You just don't take somebody's life like that. It's awful. Absolutely awful.
Hunt's confessions to police in 1976 were ignored. The fresh police investigation in 2011 prompted Philip Tho to finally come forward with what Hunt had told him in prison.
No, I'm sorry that I couldn't come forward about it earlier, but let's hopefully now we'll get over and done with for you all.
The big question now is, will the Director of Public Prosecutions recommend that Jeffrey Charles Hunt be formally charged with murder?
I still can't believe that he's free now. I can't believe that after the coroner's inquest that automatically I thought they would have arrested him, but he's still free.
It's not fair. It's not fair. But we'll get him. We'll get him. We'll get him charged with murder.
Today, Hunt lives in a secret location in Tasmania. His neighbours tell us they've rarely seen him since our story went to air last October. Jeffrey Hunt, are you there? Hello, it's Michael Willisey. Today, he's not answering. Jeffrey, I'd like to talk to you. We tried repeatedly to make contact, but he did not respond. Every window is completely covered. There's no natural light in the house. But Hunt is a free man, and that's a worry.
There's a killer out there, a terrible person. He shouldn't be out on the street.
I just worry about the fact that what might happen if he's not put away. There are a lot of people out there who are very, very angry with this whole business, and I just fear now for what could happen to him.
You're talking about vigilante action?
Oh yes, most definitely. I've had a couple of calls. They've told me not to worry, he'll be taken care of.
Which is not the way to go about it.
Well, it's definitely not the way to go about it.
John turned 70 last year, and he holds an eternal flame for his beloved Lucille.
I feel a lot better. For the first time in years, I feel a lot better.
And John has one last hope.
But I'd give anything if he'd tell us where her remains are. I'd just give anything. And I just say, please have it in your heart, if you've got a heart, so we can put her to rest. Yeah.
Earlier this month, Tasmanian Police issued an official apology to Lucille Butterworth's family and loved ones for the failures of the original investigation. We'll keep you updated on any developments.